Acting is defined in looking at movies as an art in which an actor uses imagination, intelligence, psychology, memory, vocal technique, facial expressions, body language, and an overall knowledge of the filmmaking process to realize, under the director's guidance, the character created by the screenwriter. The movie Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, stood out to me most in the 4 types of characters and the presentational and representational use of acting. Made at the height of the Cold War, Dr. Strangelove is summarized by IMDb as an insane American general orders a bombing attack on the Soviet Union, triggering a path to nuclear holocaust that a war room full of politicians and generals frantically tries to stop. Stanley Kubrick shows 4 different types of characters and examples of representational and presentational acting throughout Dr. Strangelove. Both presentational and representational styles are used in Dr. Strangelove. Presentational acting is utilized through technical craft, voice, physical, and speech characterization. A heightened example of presentational acting is George C. Scott as Buck in this next clip.
Mr. President, I'm beginning to smell a big fat commie rat. Suppose Kissoff is lying about that 4th plane, just looking for an excuse to clobber us. If the spaghetti hits the fan now, we're in trouble.
I don't know exactly how to put this, sir, but are you aware of what a serious breach of security that would be? He'll see everything. He'll see the big board.
Representational acting is an example of the inner world. Psychological and emotional characterization are used, and there's a striving for authenticity. This is a deadpan example of Peter Sellers utilizing representational acting to show what is going on inside the president's head as he is calling about the nuclear attack.
Base commanders, he had a sort of, he went a little funny in the head. Just a little funny. And he went and did a silly thing. Well, I'll tell you what he did. He ordered his planes to attack your country.
There are 4 types of characters highlighted in Dr. Strangelove. Persona actors are actors who play a persona that's the same from role to role. We expect them to be themselves. The persona actor is Sterling Hayden, who plays the general who called the nuclear attack. He had a career as the handsomest man in Hollywood and was commonly persona cast as a tough guy. Against type actors are persona actors who defy our expectations. In this case, it's George C. Scott, who is a serious actor acting outside of his comfort range. He is an against type actor in Dr. Strangelove, and his whole life was a serious dramatic actor. Kubrick tricked Scott into thinking they were doing acting exercises and not being filmed to get an outrageous and over-the-top performance from him. A non-actor is a person not normally associating with acting who appears to add a sense of authenticity because their real-life person is close to the character. Slim Pickens was a former rodeo cowboy who had been in a couple westerns and added authenticity to Dr. Strangelove. He played the role of a cowboy and had the accent as a non-character actor. Chameleon actors are actors who seem different in every role. In Dr. Strangelove, we have an actor playing 3 different characters. Peter Sellers is the example of the chameleon actor. He played Dr. Strangelove, the President, and Mandrake. The variety between these 3 characters is astounding. The outrageous and improvised ex-Nazi scientist Dr. Strangelove, Mandrake, the proper general who is helping out, and the president who is trying to fix what could turn into a nuclear holocaust. In an interview, Sellers stated, his multiple roles are masks, Mr. Sellers liked to claim, describing himself as basically a character actor. As far as I'm aware, I have no personality of my own whatsoever. I have no character to offer the public. Sellers was the first person nominated for Best Actor Oscar while playing multiple roles. Peter Sellers often improv most of his lines as these 3 characters. For my focus artist, I chose Stanley Kubrick. He often made against-type actors and utilized improvisation. Kubrick often used these techniques to get the exact type of performance that he wanted. Two examples of famous improvisation that Stanley Kubrick organized is in Dr. Strangelove and The Shining. New York Times states on set Kubrick allowed Sellers to improvise in rehearsals, and then Kubrick would take the best of Sellers' improvisations, write them in the script, and shoot them. For an example, in Dr. Strangelove, the president calls to announce the nuclear launch, and Dr. Strangelove's final monologue was improv.
Also, when they go down into the mine, everyone will still be alive. There will be no shocking memories, and the prevailing motion will be one of nostalgia for those left behind, combined with a spirit of bold curiosity for the adventure ahead.
Another famous example of improv is in The Shining.
Here's Johnny.